So quite a while back, I got into recuperation exercises or recuperative exercises, like physical therapy type stuff. And the reason I started doing that was I needed to get back in shape. I hadn't been in shape for a while. Now, eventually I did start doing far more aggressive exercise, like aggressive cardio, things like that. Now, people might remember, I may have said this in a video, a few months back I was involved in a martial arts demonstration, and I was pleasantly surprised by the fact that I was actually physically stronger and more flexible than many folks in their early 20s and late teens. So I was physically more flexible than these people due to the fact that I've never neglected the low intensity training that is common in martial arts that's overlooked by many, such as stretching, Pilates type calisthenic exercises, things of that nature. I've never neglected my stretching, and I've never neglected, well, I shouldn't say never, but when I started re-embracing the recuperative exercises, when I started getting back into things like the concept of naturopathic medicine and utilizing this holistic approach to well-being, I started practicing the recuperative exercises, walking, and embracing the 8 laws of health, the Adventist 8 laws of health. So this is the benefits of low-intensity exercise. This video is going to be about low-intensity exercise, because I think what happens is a lot of people, young and old, neglect low-intensity exercise and think exercise needs to be painful or damaging or in some way tiring and exhausting, and it doesn't. Okay, so the presentation addressed researches this training they found, so the patients could improve their aerobic work capacity. Hypertensive patients could reduce their blood pressure in association with modulating in humoral factors without changes in body weight and diet, meaning their body weight didn't even need to change, but their blood pressure was getting better without any change to the diet. The obese patients succeeded in significant body reduction with mild food reduction, meaning they were burning more calories. They also found the existence of breakpoint of double product during graded exercise tests corresponding to lactate threshold. This low-intensity training, which is easier and safer, and this is what's important to understand. During that martial arts thing, I accidentally, of course it was an accident, I damn near broke my foot. And that's one of the problems with higher intensity exercise, whether it's running or plyometrics or heavy weightlifting or what have you. There's a high risk of injury. Not so with low intensity exercise. It's safer and easier. It's not as challenging. And this is why things like recuperative exercise I find better than yoga. I grew up doing yoga. I did yoga because of Talima. The asanas that are talked about by Aleister Crowley. I did the asanas that are mentioned by Aleister Crowley. I started doing, what the hell is it called? I did Kundalini yoga, but that's not the actual name of it. But I did various types of yoga, particularly Hatha yoga, because obviously yoga means union. I also practice Bhakti yoga, which has nothing to do with Hatha yoga. But I'm going to move on here. So what about low-intensity exercise? Okay, this is from WebMD. So what about low-intensity exercise? Okay, so what is low-intensity exercise? Let's go there. So physical activities done at a comfortable pace are considered low-intensity exercises. Your heart rate should stay steady at about 50% of its normal maximum rate. This steady pace should last for periods of at least 30 minutes. You should be able to carry on a conversation without getting breathless. Some examples of low-intensity workouts are walking, bicycling, swimming, rowing, tai chi, yoga, and resistance training. Such activities improve blood flow, prevent muscle wasting, and prevent falls and injuries. You have a better quality of life and can live independently. Low-intensity exercise takes longer to provide benefits, but it's safe. Now, this is what's important to understand. I had to spend 2.5 months recuperating from an injury because of an accident that took a split second to happen. That type of accident does not happen with low-intensity exercise. And because I'm making this video in relation to martial arts, what I want to say is, if you're utilizing low-intensity exercise as a means of cardiopulmonary conditioning and things of that nature, you're not going to have the downtime. And there are, of course, other things like hand conditioning and stuff that are going to be implemented, but you're not going to hurt yourself, most likely, in that type of thing. The impact on joints is mild when you're doing low-intensity exercise, and the injury risk is low. Many of these activities are done outdoors at minimal expense. Additionally, most of these activities are enjoyable, and you'll likely stick with them longer. Why do you need low-intensity workouts? Exercise may seem impossible if you're struggling with an injury or recovering from illness or surgery, but physical activity is possible and safe for almost everyone. Low-intensity exercises allow everyone to choose activities appropriate for their current fitness levels. As you become accustomed to the activity, increase the intensity gradually. If you have a chronic condition, consult your healthcare provider before starting a low-intensity workout routine. Remember to follow the safety guideline. Start low and go slow. Now, what I would like to say is, you don't have to increase the intensity ridiculously. You just need to be getting the results that you want to be getting, meaning maintaining a healthy balance. And you might ask, what are you recuperating from? You're recuperating from the day. You're recuperating from aging. You're halting aging. As you grow older, you're likely to have one or more chronic conditions such as diabetes, arthritis, cancer, or heart disease. These require you to be careful about exertion and injuries. Low-intensity workouts are safe. Now, what I want to point out, being concerned about injuries is not something younger people are concerned about. Now, when I was younger, when I practiced karate when I was younger, I would hurt myself on a regular basis. I just didn't care. Okay? Now, not having done martial arts for almost 2 decades, I cared when I hurt myself. I recuperated at about the same rate as I would have when I was younger. It's not like I was old and worn out or something of that nature. But the issue was, that's a lot of downtime. That's a lot of time I can't train. That's a lot of time I can't participate in things that I want to. That's a lot of time I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even do low-intensity exercises, except for my stretching, of course. So your workout should include activities that strengthen muscles and improve balance. Try to meet the recommendation of at least 150 minutes of physical activity a week. Various health conditions may leave you unfit for intense exercise, but remaining inactive for a long time is bad for your health. Physical and mental health. Low intensity exercise can get you moving, improving your mood and self-confidence. Exercise of any intensity reduces your risks of dementia, stress, depression, and Alzheimer's disease. Sedentary behavior is like sitting or lying for long periods increases obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. People with heart disease shouldn't lift weights or do other intense exercises. Okay. I don't know what happened. Low intensity versus high intensity. So a high-intensity workout is much more vigorous than low-intensity. Your heart rate accelerates close to its maximum, and you can't speak more than a few words without stopping for breath. Some high-intensity exercises include jogging or running, swimming laps, aerobic dancing, singles tennis, and other vigorous sports, hiking uphill, bicycling 10 miles an hour or faster, jumping rope. How to do low-intensity cardio. Cardio activities are also called endurance or aerobic exercises. Brisk walking, jogging, dancing, swimming, and bicycling are all cardio activities. These activities speed up your heartbeat and breathing. Regular cardio will make your heart and lungs stronger. If you can't manage intense exercise, low-intensity cardio is an option. Walking the dog, bicycling at your own pace to the store, and taking a dance class all count as cardio. Other options are yoga, yard work like raking, golf, and water aerobics. Level up slowly, increasing the intensity and duration of your exercise. Low-intensity exercises. Low-intensity exercises don't strain your body, but are still better than being inactive. You might feel that you can keep up with these activities for hours. You don't feel out of breath and can converse comfortably. These low-intensity exercises need to be continued for longer to achieve the same gains as short periods of high-intensity exercise, but you may be limited to such activities by your healthcare providers because of recent illness, surgery, or injury. Okay, low-intensity workouts. Benefits: improved cardiorespiratory fitness, reduced fatigue and pain, better mood, reduced risk of falls and injuries, increased mobility and balance, better sleep quality. Starting such an exercise program may also have social benefits. When you're outdoors, you may meet other people engaging in similar activities. Low-intensity workout programs are not scary and are easy to start. They're easier to complete, and you're more likely to stick with them. That's one of the biggest things with exercise is consistency. Being consistent is it's of large importance to actually getting a result. These exercises are great for older people, people with injuries and disabilities, and those recovering from severe illness or surgery. Regular low-intensity workouts can keep you active and independent and help you recover your strength, vigor, and mental health. And this is from Live Strong. It's good reasons to do more low-intensity cardio. While high-intensity sweat sessions might get all the attention at the gym, there is still a place for low-intensity cardio in your workout. What qualifies as low-intensity cardio? Of course, it refers to any physical activity that raises your heart rate without skyrocketing it. A good rule of thumb: you should be able to talk or sing, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Does low-intensity cardio burn fat? Okay. Cardio machines have long indicated when a person was in the fat-burning zone, which supposedly correlated with low-intensity exercise. However, low-intensity cardio doesn't necessarily lead to higher fat-burning potential, according to the National Academy of Sports Medicine. Although your body uses a higher percentage of fat as fuel when you're exercising at the low-intensity range, you burn more calories overall when you're exercising in a higher intensity range, and more calories are burned. Means more overall fat loss. 5 benefits of low cardio: improved insulin sensitivity. Just one session of low-intensity exercise can improve insulin sensitivity in people with diabetes, concluded a study in September 2013 of Diabetes Care. Better balance for older adults. Low-intensity exercise can improve balance. That's from Sports Medicine. Decreased waist circumference. If you hate high-intensity exercise but want to lose inches, here's good news: low-intensity exercise decreases waist circumference just as effectively as high-intensity exercise. More enjoyment while exercising. High-intensity exercise gained popularity because it takes less time to complete. However, the best type of exercise is the one that you're going to stick with. Again, if you keep doing it, the consistency is what matters. Okay? And that just might be lower intensity options. Opportunity to rest and recover. Even if you love to hit the HIIT class, you can go hard all the time. You can't go hard all the time. Consistently pushing yourself to your limits every single time you hit the gym is a recipe for overtraining, which can result in injury and a weakened immune system.
How much low-intensity cardio should you do? Ideally, you're doing at least 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic activity each week or 75 minutes of high-intensity cardio. Where low-intensity exercise fits in, that is up to you. Maybe it's a 60-minute hike each week on your active recovery day, or perhaps you want to take a 30-minute walk during your lunch break every day. You could even aim to hit 10,000 steps a day, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's move on here. So a meta-analysis shows through 15 studies how many daily walking steps are needed to boost longevity. The spoiler alert that they put in the title is that it's under 10,000. So a meta-analysis of 15 studies involving nearly 50,000 people from 4 continents offers new insights into identifying the amount of daily walking steps that will optimally improve adults' health and longevity, and whether the number of steps is different for people of different ages. The analysis represents an effort, blah, 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 led to the university. The research supports and expands findings from another study. Let's see. Among the 3 higher active groups, The analysis represents an effort to develop an evidence-based public health message about the benefits of physical activity. The often repeated 10,000 steps a day mantra grew out of a decades-old marketing campaign for a Japanese pedometer with no science to back up the impact on health. Led by University of Massachusetts Amherst physical activity epidemiologist Amanda Paluk, an international group of scientists who formed the Steps for Health Collaborative, found that taking more steps a day helps lower the risk of premature death. The findings are reported in a paper, blah, blah, blah. More specifically, for adults and older, the risk of premature death leveled off at about 6,000 to 8,000 steps per day, meaning that more steps than that provided no additional benefit for longevity. Adults younger than 60 saw the risk of premature death stabilize at about 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. So what we saw was this incremental reduction in risk as steps increase until it levels off. Interestingly, the research found no definitive association with walking speed beyond the total number of steps per day. Now, keep that in mind. It doesn't matter how fast you're walking. It just matters how long you're walking, how many steps you're taking. Getting in your steps, regardless of the pace at which you walked them, was the link to lower risk of death. Getting in your steps, regardless of the pace at which you walked them, was the link to lower risk of death. The new research supports and expands findings from another study led by Paluk, published last September in JAMA, a network open, which found that walking at least 7,000 steps a day reduced middle-aged people's risk of premature death. The Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans, updated in 2018, recommends adults get at least 150 minutes of moderate-intensity aerobic physical activity each week. Paluk is among the researchers seeking to help establish the evidence base to guide recommendations for simple, accessible physical activity, such as walking. Steps are very simple to track, and there is a rapid growth of fitness tracking devices, Paluk says. It's such a clear communication tool for public health messaging. So walking is one of the most evidence-based or evidence-backed strategies to improve health and longevity. A brisk pace might also help extend the lifespan of telomeres, a key marker of cellular health in DNA. A steady or fast pace of 3 miles an hour or more could add years to your life. Walking at a brisk pace, as we just saw, you don't necessarily have to walk at a brisk pace. It was the number of steps. Could shave years off your biological age, new research suggests. A faster walking pace was associated with fewer markers of aging in a large group of older adults, with data suggesting that faster walking may reduce markers of aging. So this helps to reduce the epigenetic markers of biological age if you're walking somewhat faster.
Okay, so walking may reduce markers of aging by as much as 16 years by midlife, according to a study published April 20th in the Journal Communications Biology. Researchers from the University of Leicester, Biomedical Research Center looked at genetic data from 405,981 middle-aged UK residents averaging in their mid-50s. They compared the typical self-reported walking pace of participants with signs of biological aging by measure. Now, this is self-reported. You got to take that into consideration. Telomeres are the tail ends. Everybody knows what telomeres are by now. People with a habitually faster walking pace, more than 3 miles an hour, were found to have longer telomeres on average than their slower walking peers, according to the data. The results are significant because while prior research has shown a link between a brisk walking pace and fewer markers of aging, the most recent study suggests walking quickly is the cause of the benefits, according to researchers. Walking has evidence-based benefits for mental and physical health as well. Regardless of your pace, walking is one of the most well-researched ways to boost your mood, lift your energy levels, and stave off a variety of illnesses. Research suggests walking elevates your heart rate and improves blood flow, which can help relieve pain and muscle aches. You don't need to hit 10,000 steps a day to see results either. Okay, so research suggests benefits of walking occur on a spectrum as few as 4,400 steps a day, linked to longer life. The general recommendation for physical activity is 30 minutes a day, which can be broken up throughout the day, such as 3 10-minute walks, or gradually increased over time, according to the Mayo Clinic. Walking just 10 minutes per day extends longevity in octogenarians. Okay, researchers report. Now, this is what's funny. People will go, oh, well, it doesn't matter. I'm too old, blah, blah, blah. So people that were 85 can prolong their lives by walking as little as 10 minutes per day. Experts say older adults can exercise safely by walking with another person or exercising in a public place, such as a mall. They add that older adults can also get their daily exercise by parking their car far away from a store or using the stairs whenever possible. They also say that some exercises can be done inside the home. People in their 80s can prolong their lives by walking as little as 10 minutes a day, according to new research. Our studies indicate that walking even just 1 hour every day is advantageous to those aged 85 years and older compared to being completely inactive. The take-home message is to keep walking throughout your life, the research says. The new study has presented at the European Society of Cardiology's annual meeting. The findings haven't been peer-reviewed or published yet. So it's not been peer-reviewed yet or published, but that's what the research shows. So in their study, the researchers examined the associations between walking and the risks of all-cause and cardiovascular mortality in adults 85 and older. They reported that walking for as little as 10 minutes a day can increase longevity. The researchers looked at data for 7,047 adults over 85 with an average age of 87 from the Korean National Health Screening Program from 2009 through 2014. The participants completed a questionnaire on leisure time activities, including the length of time spent each week. Walking at a slow pace, engaging in moderate intensity activities such as cycling or brisk walking, engaging in vigorous activities such as running. 4,051 persons did not spend any time walking. 597 walked for less than 1 hour. 849 walked for 1 or 2 hours. 610 walked for 3 hours, or 2 to 3 hours. 940 walked for more than 3 hours. In all, 1,037 people reported completing moderate activity throughout the week, while 773 reported vigorous exercise, and 538 individuals met the recommended times for moderate to physical activity. Compared to inactive individuals, those who walked at least 1 hour per week
had about a 40% lower risk of all-cause and cardiovascular mortality. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends adults get 150 minutes of moderate-intensity physical activity and 2 days of muscle strengthening training. As we age, meeting the daily, weekly activity recommendations can become more challenging. In general, there is a standard exercise recommendation for everyone over 60. The Vice President. So 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise per week, which breaks down to 30 minutes of exercise 5 days per week. Moderate intensity exercise includes brisk walking, dancing, jogging, biking, 10 miles per hour on level ground, and swimming. In addition, 60 minutes per week on activities to strengthen muscles, including resistance training using light weights or body weight exercises. Now that's important to understand. Resistance training using light weights, as I already covered, body weight exercises such as chair squats, wall push-ups, hip bridges, and lunges. It is also recommended that people over the age of 65 do exercises to improve balance, such as single limb stance, walking heel to toe, and side leg raises. Okay, for people interested in either starting or increasing the amount, now that's important too, actually. Let me talk about that real quick. The side leg raises and other things to strengthen the lower extremities are very important. For people interested in either starting or increasing the amount that they exercise, it is important to remember not to try to increase the amount of exercise all at once. Okay, someone who is not exercising at all can go for a walk for 10 to 15 minutes 3 times per week. After 2 weeks, this level of exercise can be increased to 10 to 20 minutes 3 days a week. Okay, hold each level of exercise for 1 or 2 weeks. Getting started, blah, blah, blah. People can read this on their own if they wish. 10 benefits of walking for athletes, for strength athletes. Okay, so let's see. Benefits of walking: improves joint pain, reduces osteoarthritis pain, improves immune system, lowers stress, better heart health, improves mental health, contributes to weight loss, improves spine health, improves digestion, increases creativity. Okay, this goes improves joint health. Studies suggest that walking just 3 days a week can help reduce joint pain, reduces osteoarthritis pain, improves the immune system. Okay, lowers stress. And this is important to understand. Hard training stresses the body, and even when it's good stress, the type that results in more muscle mass, your body needs to recover. For many people, walking can be just about the safest low-impact exercise there is. Research also suggests that a solid habit of 10,000 daily steps can help lower blood pressure. And that is through and sympathetic nerve activity. Better heart health. Consistent exercise, whether it be cardiovascular or resistance training, is beneficial for your heart. Walking at least 10,000 steps per day can reduce blood pressure and improve your ability to breathe, meaning your lung capacity, VO2max too. Improves mental health, contributes to weight loss. We've gone through these before. Improves your spine health, because it improves bone density in general. It improves digestion. It increases your creativity, apparently. You may have heard the theories about stepping away from your desk or taking a break from your work every so often may help boost your creativity. Walking is a great way to get the creative juices flowing, apparently. How many steps per day? Blah, blah, blah. We've been through that before. Walking for exercise. Okay, walking and health. In 2018, Physical Activity Guidelines for Americans recommends that adults with chronic conditions do at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic physical activity weekly if able. Walking is an exercise that meets this aerobic component. Moderate intensity activity is defined as having a metabolic equivalent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, do I really need to take 10,000 steps? You've probably heard 10,000 steps. We've already been through this. Don't need it. Okay, where to walk, school track, sidewalks, indoor mall, home exercise videos, treadmill, Okay, clothing for walking. Your clothing should be comfortable. Walk safely. Pedestrian fatalities related to traffic accidents, blah, blah, blah. Choose a well-lit area to walk. Wear reflective gear. Choose a path that is not too isolated. Walk with someone if possible. Keep a mobile phone within easy reach. Transitioning into a walking routine, walking in mindfulness. If walking is your exercise of choice, a typical routine may start with this: athletic shoes on, earbuds in, upbeat music playing, walking path determined. Your main goal is to complete a certain number of steps or length of time. So what are the basic benefits of walking? Okay. The most basic of physical activities, walking, can be a key to feeling better and recovery for athletes of all ages. Walking is an important part of a personal exercise program, benefiting heavy lifters and competitive athletes, as well as people focusing on cardio work and those looking to drop a few pounds. Competitive athletes can also take advantage of the active muscle pump with a 15 to 20 minute walking program. Cardio champions and people on weight loss programs can also maintain and restore any impeded gait patterns due to work on different machines. Runners, especially distance runners, find a specific gait comfortable, one that is different from walking. Distance runners can bring about soreness that can be alleviated by simply walking the body back to its normal gait.